Welcome, guys, to the live stream. We are back here again today, and I jumped the gun on pressing that button. I'm still actually pushing through to get all my notifications out that I am live, but I hope everybody's having a fantastic Thursday today. I'm hoping that things have somewhat stabilized for my internet connection. I've thrown up my monitor here right now. So far, I haven't dropped any frames since I've gone live. And but my internet provider, they've significantly nerfed what my upload speeds are. So part of their upgrades now is they are capping residential high-speed upload speeds at 50 megabits per second. And so I'm sitting at that 45 to 46 megabit per second, but it seems to be consistent, which is okay because I'm only pushing just over 16 megabit per second. So that still gives me a lot of headway. So hopefully things will balance and kind of be okay with that. I'm not impressed. I can tell you that right now. For what we pay in Canada for internet services, that's kind of harsh. It's a little ridiculous that they're doing that they're knocking things down like that. So, excuse me. Didn't mean to cough in your guys' ears. I'm still just finishing up my posts here. Give me 2 seconds while we push that through. We're almost at the weekend again. We're like a day away. Like tomorrow's Friday. Thank goodness for that. And it is cold. Oh man, is it cold out here right now? It's like minus 21 tonight with feels like minus 30 something wind chill. Not a very nice weather experience out there right now. Yeah, it is very unpleasant, to say the least. And I'm sitting here looking for, on the Satisfactory Discord, oh, I lost the channel where I can post where I put my live streams. So it's there now. I found it. So I just have to make sure that I don't broadcast that to everybody because you're not allowed to do that. I don't think it'll let me post that like that anyway, but done. Game window. Let's head over to the game window. Kind of see how things are at. I did finish up the oil gathering over at the resource well that was up over here. This ended up giving us 18 additional conveyors of petroleum coke out of this. So the last little bit that we've got to do is the island cluster off to the west. And let's turn the fog off. So yeah, we got the island cluster over there. So I just got a little bit of conveyor work that we're going to do here to kind of get these prepped to be able to get fed over there. And then we're just going to go dive in and start working on pulling the oil out from over there. But this is how this turned out. We were able to get, 1,350 oil out of this resource node that's here. So we got the resource well pressurizer sitting here and each of our extractors feeding into 2 tanks that are giving us 600 cubic meters and one that's doing 150 cubic meters. And then we've got our refineries that are converting that into heavy oil residue and a little bit of plastic. And then we've got all of the heavy oil residue getting converted into petroleum coke. And each 2 refineries is 1,200 items per minute of petroleum coke. So yeah, we're cruising along. I'm thinking that we're going to hit that 200,000 petroleum coke per minute once we get that last little cluster up there. So I'm just going to finish up with the conveyor bits at this end. This is kind of where I left off last night. I didn't trust the internet last night. I wanted to kind of give it another little pause. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to grind, get some playthrough done, and get a bunch of these conveyors. And I got all the conveyor work from the big oil factory that's over on the north side there. All of that is in place here. And you can see our walls of conveyors that we've got going here. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4 complete lines, 24 high. This one here is going to be completed right away. And then we're going to be starting our 5th line of 24 of our next 24 stack. Like it's a lot of petroleum coke that we're doing here. And I mean, I still don't even know how much bauxite or aluminum solution. Like the bauxite we've got, it's like 85,000 bauxite. But the alumina solution from that, I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to end up getting us. And we still have to, you know, turn that alumina solution into using the electrode aluminum scrap is what ends up using the petroleum coke. And so the more that we've got, the less that I'm going to end up having to dive into coal to make our aluminum scrap, because I want the coal for being able to make regular steel ingots with all the iron that's still out here. So I've got plans of things that are going to work out for us to be able to get this ultimate screw factory done. And I'm really hoping that we can get north of that 10 million screws per minute. It may be more, it may be less. I don't know, because I haven't sat down and figured out what the math of it is to be. We're going to kind of leave that as a surprise once we get to the end of all this. And then I'll be looking forward to doing like a summary video and posting the summary video on the channel of, hey, here's everything that we've done. This is how long it took from start to finish. I'll tell you right now, save game. We are 86 hours into this factory build. So everything that we've done so far on this whole playthrough right here has been 86 hours to get us to this point, which is, I mean, that's a lot. Considering I only get between 2.5 and 3 hours a day to play. It takes time to be able to pull this all off and get all this stuff made. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can be notified when I'm live. Afraid, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I gotta get my chat window popped out here. I forgot to do that on this side, and then switch it to live chat. And yeah. So far, so good. 0 drop frames. I'm pleased with that. So if 50 megabit per second will be, if it can always give me a consistent speed of that, then I shouldn't have too much to worry about. But as soon as it starts getting variable is when I start getting a little bit scared about what they're doing with my internet connection. What sucks is 2 weeks ago, or literally last week, my upload speed for my connection was like 250 megabits per second. It's a good thing I'm not streaming in 4K. I'm only streaming in I guess it's technically like 2.5K. It's 2560 by 1440 is the resolution. And some people call it 2K, some people call it 2.5. But that's kind of what we're pushing right now. And to do that, you need to have 16 megabits per second to be able to push that through. And then you don't want to max out your internet connection, because then that kills everything. Like if you set your bitrate to your full upload capability, you wouldn't be able to function on the internet. You wouldn't get anything done. Wouldn't work. You'd be like, nope, sorry, you're broken, you're done, forget it. So it'll just take a little bit longer for us to finish this last little bit of conveyor work. And then we're heading over to that last cluster of oil nodes. And there's another pressurized resource well that we've got to get configured over there to be able to get this all up and running for us. Afraid says we're going to get a major whumping this weekend, 12 to 18 inches of snow. You can have it. We're cold here. Like it's minus, last I checked it was like minus 20. Let me look. Hold on. I'll look here and see. Where is my weather app? Hold on. There it is. As it loads, currently minus 20 degrees Celsius, feels like minus 29 out there with the wind chill. So, yeah, that's brisk. That's brisk, and you feel it too. Like it's like a little bit of a crystally type snow that's fallen from the sky right now. Okay, let's delete these. We don't need that anymore. And then we're just going to build up this line of conveyors here. And I should probably set my zoop on. I gotta get my zoop on. I don't even know what that would mean. Anthony, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Line that up. That's good. 6 to 12 inches here. The norm. Haha. How's it going? Things are good. Things are good. I'm not liking the fact that it's feeling very much like winter. We just kind of got out of a bit of a what we call a Chinook, which is a warm wind that comes from basically the Columbia River Valley. It kind of shoots up the Rockies and then blows over the Rockies and into the prairies, and that gives us what's called a Chinook wind, a Chinook arch. And there was like a couple of days last week that we hit like plus 15, which is like unseasonably warm for wintertime, which is like shorts and t-shirt weather for us in the winter. But now we're back into a reality snap of, hey, you know what? I can still be winter. And it's supposed to be like that for the weekend. And then we're supposed to get back into another little bit of a warming trend next week. So I'm talking about the weather. Like, how old man is that? Yeah, it's another winter day. I remember walking to school uphill both ways in snow up to my butthole. Turning into a grumpy old guy that sits here and talks about the weather. Like, man, what happened to my life? That's right, I don't have one. A game. Hello says we're going to the T's, which I believe is -9 Celsius. So not going to complain about that. No, please don't. Just before Christmas, we were down to like the -30. I think we hit -32 with like a -38 wind chill. It was cold. We have gray hair. Ask me if I'm surprised. No, I got lots of gray hair. I got more gray hair than I know what to do with. 50 in April. My old bones creak and groan when I move around. Okay, so that's probably... Oh, that does make that a 5th line. So I'm just going to grab my blueprint of logistics 24 high and put this to connected build mode. There we go. And then we got to just pull this along here. Come on now. Line that up. And one more click. Nope, nope, that's too much. Don't move it that much. There. And then I can hopefully get the rest of this to line up. There's giant buses with no items in them because I want to get all the awesome things set up at the end first before I go and fire up these buses with items in them. So this is by design that I'm doing this. All of this is going to be petroleum coke. These massive freaking item buses. It's ridiculous. It's a lot. But it's all going to get used to make aluminum scrap from the electrode aluminum scrap alternate recipe. So coke straight to sinks. Why did I think otherwise? And the only reason why it's going straight to sinks is so that I don't have like any issues with things backed up at all. I want to make sure that my machines and my lines are running effectively. Having them dump into an awesome sink, I can make sure that everything's merging properly. All the, I haven't missed any belts. I don't have anything that's not connected properly. And so I know I'm always getting my 1200 items per minute. And then that will just help me later on when we start building the aluminum factory, that's the next step, is after I'm done with this last little cluster of oil nodes that's on the west side here, that I'm switching now to like straight on, I guess it'll be alumina solution, I think is the next phase of the factory build. So yeah, it's kind of all right that we're getting to this phase. All said and done, I honestly think I am going to end up reaping every single product off of this map except for uranium. Uranium is going to be the only thing we're not going to mine out. Because there's like, I'm not using it for, I got it set to 0 power builds. So, I don't really have to worry about what's happening with the whole power infrastructure. So uranium won't be used, but every other node, I think, on the entire game is going to get consumed in this. So, Chris, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Just a couple of belts. We are, yeah, like that's... what are we at here? Why did my little window not open? There we go. 5 times 24. That's 120 there. And then how many do I have left over on this line? Let me just figure that out. I gotta extend this out this way too, and it's gonna drop down right about here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 132 times 1200. We're at 158,400 petroleum coke so far. Yep, I'm nuts. I may have significantly... Oh, you know what? Since that doesn't... I don't need to have to come this far with this. I just need to be past these, which will do one more, and then there's 12 conveyors I gotta drop down. Which is those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Throw down some elevators here, as we're now starting our 6th row of petroleum coke conveyors. It's not where that belongs. Like right now, all the petroleum coke is currently even actively being dumped into awesome sinks, but it's right at each individual factory line. But I need all of this stuff to eventually get over to our build area over here. So that's why I'm kind of getting all this conveyor infrastructure put into place right away. Need to bring this down vertically, move my mic out of the way because I had it sitting in the wrong area, so you guys are probably not hearing me properly. Okay, I just have to make sure that I get this set at the right build height, which I believe is right there. Back to Zoop. Throw down some more conveyor holes. And switch back to default build mode for this. And yeah, that's the exact height. I can't go any further down. So we're bringing these 12 conveyors down. Man, when all this is moving, I'm really going to see, you're going to have to see what my computer does once I get all these items flying. I'm hoping it doesn't like freak out on me. But so far so good. I mean, technically the belts are moving. So it shouldn't be too much different once products are running on it, because all the products are actively running and getting dumped into an It's like they're just not traveling clear across the map to do it. Connect all these up. I can't believe like this project, how long, like we're going to be over 90 hours of build time on this by the time we're done here tonight. Especially if I can't get a freaking elevator lift to connect properly. It's going to take me 90 hours just to freaking build the conveyor. Might be time to, I noticed this, my mouse is starting to wear out a little bit. I've had this mouse a long time now. I want to say it's like 6 years now I've been using this mouse. And for a $25 mouse, it does the trick. Like, I can't complain. It's just a Red Dragon USB gaming mouse. This is actually a good segue into my promo spot. You could check my Amazon affiliate link in the description of the video, or in my About section on my YouTube page. And you can check out this mouse for yourself. It's in my list of PC items. It's like 25 bucks for this mouse. And it has been a solid little piece of equipment for my gaming rig. I can't complain at all. Nobody would listen if I did complain, but it does the trick that I need it to do. Anthony says, dinner calls. Everyone have a great night, day/evening. Might check back later. Thanks, Anthony, for stopping in. Cream of wheat with sugar is good. Sugar on white bread is good too. Sugar on white bread. Okay, I've done like toast with a little bit of butter on it, and then sugar and cinnamon. I've done that before, but never just straight sugar on bread. That seems might be a tad bit on the sweet side. Mind you, if it's just a sprinkling, I guess it's probably fine. Poor people food? No, that's not poor people food. That's just eating what you like. I mean, the sugar would help with energy, so it does give you that little bit of a boost. That is not where that goes. And neither is that one. Come on, build it properly, you tool. I certainly don't need to add any more sugar to my diet. Like, I've been trying to cut back on sugar, but there's certain things that I know what my health has just gone downhill. I need to start eating better. The last year's been so busy. By the time you get home from work, the last thing you want to do is cook anything. So it's been like a lot of fast food eating for like the last year, and my whole body feels it. Okay, so let me just bring this now up to this point, right? We'll tie it up with this one. I don't need to bring this one all the way down because we're going to be adding to it at some point, and I just don't know exactly where that add point is yet. So I'm not going to pull all this conveyor all the way to the far side yet. And Lord knows you don't want to watch me have to do another hop over a line of conveyors like we have to do over here. There's just too much infrastructure there that I don't want to tear it out and rebuild it. So we're going to bring all these conveyors and hop over top of that, which is going to be a ton of work. I'll do that off stream. You guys don't need to see me take 120 conveyors and hop them over top of, actually 132 conveyors, and hop them over a bunch of other conveyors without clipping them, so. Has anyone ever heard about Farina? I have not. Okay. Logistically, I think we're kind of done for now. Everything I think is all connected that we need connected at this point. 132 conveyors. Now let's go see how many more conveyors we can get out of that cluster of oil nodes that's on the west side. It is a southern breakfast dish. Then up here in the north, we definitely have not heard of that. These small conveyor sections here, like this is the only one that I've got to hop over. Bring all these conveyors, lift it up like 4 high, bring it back down. These clusters here, I'll be able to reroute them underneath so that they're not in the way. And I think I can even do that with this and this one. So we'll be able to just pull all these conveyors down over to where our converters are here. And then I'll just build like 100 and whatever it's going to be, 200, I don't know, 150, probably 150 awesome sinks just in a line out here to dump all those conveyors into. And then we'll get them all hooked up and running across the map. That'll be so much fun. Of course, my definition of fun and your guys' definition of fun, completely different. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. Quick reminder, don't forget to reach down, hit that like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring the notification bell so you get notified when I'm doing stupid stuff like building 200,000 petroleum coke. Or building, I don't know, more screws than anyone has ever built before. All right, let's get crazy here on some oil nodes. Production, we got our oil extractor, plant it right there, overclock the crap out of it. This one's running at 300 items per minute. We're going to go down this way now and just keep following this line all the way along to about there. Trying to keep it all at the same build height. And actually, I'll just click build this one because it's already overclocked. Add a little bit more foundations. I need to do a little brush clipping here. Do you have a running total on screws yet, Terrace? No, because I physically am not making any screws yet. I'll start the running total with each factory that by the time the first screw gets made, I'll start a billboard with a running total on it and go from there and keep track. So each factory that ties in line and gets up and running with screws, we'll add those totals on there. Okay, I think we're going to end up going like building out this way somewhere. I'm just not entirely sure what that's going to look like yet. So we're just going to put this line here. We'll do a little tree trimming here as well. You know what? I don't like this tree either. Trees are gone. And what's a little radioactive fallout amongst friends? Come on now. Click where I want you to click. I want you right on the seam of the foundation. Perfect. And then we got to put in our buffer in here as well. Organization, large fluid buffer. Let's line you up this way. And put my check valve in there. One valve flowing that way. And then we got a T into this. Because this should be another normal node. Yes, it is. 300 items, or 300 cubic meters per minute. Done. Okay, so that's the first one. 600 items. Let's have a look at this one over here. Trying to keep our foundation levels all the same. And we've got some monsters to get rid of, so we're just going to get rid of this. And you're going to be in the way. You're going to be in the way. I don't like trees. You can go too. Yay. Now let's pick up their bits. Okay, extractor. Let's click on one of these. While we're waiting for the nuclear fallout to go away. Chris says, trees, flowers, and chirping birds. Yeah, they can all go, kinda. The birds sometimes can be, when you're building, it can be really annoying. This is a pure node on this one, so this is another this is 600 items per minute. So we're going to line that up right here. And we're going to extend this little platform out here. We're going to put our buffer in. I guess right there is probably as good a spot as any to throw the buffer down. Did I leave myself enough room for my valve? That's the big question. Yeah, I did. It's from a song. They're coming to take. Oh, they're coming to take me away. Yeah, they're coming to take me away. Haha. To the funny farm. Okay, this should be another 600 items. And we're gonna turn it right there, and we're gonna run it out this way. And you know what? We'll just bring it right to this edge. This can come right to this edge. Next one. That's going to be this here. You got to go. You got to go. I'm super thrilled. 0 drop frames so far tonight. We are 38 minutes into the stream. I can live with that. I can live with that, even though it's not as fast on my upload as what it used to be. Is if it gives me the consistency that I want, then I'm not going to say I'm okay with it, but I will find it acceptable. Okay, what do I want to do with this one? I think we're going to bring this, we're going to come from here. And go straight up from here. Grab another extractor. I placed it the wrong freaking way. Try that again, spin it around. And we gotta put our buffer down. Is that center? Yes, it is. Is that center? No. Oh, well, it's close enough. As long as I can get my check valve on, I'm kind of okay. I just got to come over a bit more. Valve it up. Facing the right way. And you are 600 items per. And we're gonna spin this out. Okay, so that's another 1800 there. I'm gonna zoom right in on the map over here because I think the only thing that's left now is just the resource pressurized well that's over here. This thing. I don't even like these dirt nodules here. I kind of want to just blow. I wonder if they could be blown up. No, they can't. I don't know. I was surprised to see this resource well over here because this was never here during early access. And I don't know if I ever came over here. You know, I may have built some oil refineries over here, but I ignored this island. Once I got this node, I never even looked to see what the rest of this was. So this could have been here a lot more, but I know it wasn't here in early access. I still left some trees. Not that I need these gone, it's just I need them gone. So I think we're going to run with our oil out that way, around that side. Somewhere out here is where we're going to build all of this oil refinery crap. Might as well grab this. Looking forward to 1.2. I haven't even looked to see what 1.2... I think 1.2 is going to be like a lot of stuff to do tweaks and fixes to console. There's a lot of stuff on console that they need to still kind of iron the kinks out on. See, that was one of them little birds that's in the way when you're trying to build, and they just never move. At least I didn't nuke it, I guess. Supposed to be more liquids too. Oh, great. More fluid to have to deal with. Hopefully they like fix how fluids work. That would be amazing. Because fluid can be kind of a pain in the ass. What? You seriously landed over here? Or are you just another bird? Yeah, I'm not even going to look to see what the values of these are yet until... Oh, there's so much indigenous wildlife here. Take that. I've never heard it actually beep at me for being too radioactive. That's kind of funny. Afraid says, hey Terrace, I have a product idea for you to manufacture. They practically sell themselves. Oh, really? You gonna sell me on some pyramid scheme? Have you ever heard of a self-sealing stem bolt? I have not. No. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Now we need to get this product from here out of here. And I think we're going to use whatever this plane is here. Yeah, we got to get rid of this hunk of copper. I really should look it up. I will look it up. And then we're going to come around this. I'm not sure how many full lines we're going to get out of this. Okay, that's 150. You're 300. Okay, so those three combined are 600 cubic meters. So if we go, what do we do? Let's go logistics, Mark III. We're going to combine these two, put it into straight build mode. And then we're going to add a union there. And we're going to come up here like this. Doesn't look like much of a straight build to me. We'll just go default on this one. Auto. I went too far. I went too far. Auto. There. Okay, you're 600 items per. 75. Did we not overclock this? 75. Why is there only a 75 node? And that's 75. And that's 150. So we got another 300 combined here. Straight. And we're going to click you in right there. So that'll give us 300 cubic meters of oil there. So what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 full lines of 600 cubic meters and a half line is what we're dealing with. if this is 300 and that is, you know what? I'm gonna change this up. I'm redesigning this just slightly. We're gonna go. Really? You're not gonna let me, like, clip that in? Yes, you will. We'll do this. Like so. Then I can tee this in here. This is gonna go... like so. Oh, that's ugly. Ah. What are we gonna do? Let's go like this. We're gonna go ground level. And then put you back to straight build. You're gonna go straight build. We're gonna put this right here. This right here. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. We're gonna come straight out past. We're gonna put you right there. We're gonna change this, spin it around. So it's facing this way. Put another one of these stupid little junctions in. You're gonna go like so. And then you're gonna go straight like this. That should be 600 items, and this one's 300. What a spaghetti mess that was. And you're gonna go right past. There we go. We have a little bit of clipping. We're just gonna call it buried pipe. I'm gonna kind of live with that. Hopefully nobody minds too much. A little bit more buried pipe here. It is what it is. And then I have to remember that this one is 300 cubic meters. Yeah, I might as well bring both of these up at the same time here. Okay, we're gonna spin you like so. And you like so. And then I think I'm going to slope this down a little bit. Because I want everything on the same build plane out here. And we're going to go with, I think it's the 2 high. And do a double slope on that. And fit that right there. And that goes right, nope, right, there. Stumbles to the new ground floor opportunity that will blow up. You're really becoming quite the salesman there. I'm all about making screws, not bolts. Okay, we're going to bring all of these oil lines together and then figure out exactly how we're going to set up our manufacturing plant here. We'll bring it right out to there. Why they got all these stupid little islands in the way? I got a referral fee and an introductory fee. It sounds like it sounded like the what is it, Amway or Tupperware scheme. Okay, so I'm going to start curling all these so that we can... How many lines can we get on one conveyor? I think it's just 4. I don't want to run off that way. We're going to run 2 lines straight out this way. Of course, there has to be a freaking wildlife in the way. Just remember... where I put that, keep that in mind. So just keep on running. Don't stop. I can't believe those things survive a nuclear blast. That's just, it's mind-blowing. Okay, so we're going to be, which one? You are the center line, so we're going to bring you up first. You're going to come up to here. And then turn you this way. And then straight up this way. And then I'm just going to back you up a little bit. No, I didn't want you to elevate. Once you research it, you'll thank me or at least smile. I'll look into it, I promise. Okay, which one of these was the 600 line? This one. Okay, so I'm not doing this in the wrong direction. Okay, let's try that again. This connects to here. You connect to here. Bring you all the way up. And bring you all the way up. Oh, wait. I screwed this up. I didn't put a fluid buffer in here. I think we'll move that fluid buffer a little bit further up. So I'm going to put one in right here. Fluid buffer, please. Un fluid buffer. And you're going to go right there. Connect you there. Connect you there. Where's my valve? Get my valve. Check valve flowing the right way. Okay, you should be getting dumped in at 600 cubic meters. And then the next one we're going to do right here. Oh, we're going to come up one more. Right there, we'll delete this out. Put another fluid buffer in. You're going to go there. You're going to go there. Fluid buffer. Fluid buffer. Oh, wait. No, there's another one here that I didn't fluid buffer. Oh, no, I did, because that is 300 and 300 combined to make one. This one's done. That one's done. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. I gotta figure it out. And we're gonna bring this one up and turn it to right there. And then you're gonna come up and connect to here. You're gonna come up and connect to here. Excellent. Now I gotta bring all 5 of these up. I'm looking for your Log Kingdom build videos. You know the one with Window Chicken. Yeah, that's like an early series. That's going to be like one of the first of the Minecraft ones. I think they're after my World of Warcraft streams though. Like if you're all the way back into my leveling series when I was doing my Paladin and my Mage, you've gone too far because I think the Minecraft ones came... Pretty sure they were after my World of Warcraft videos. I can't remember now. But we're talking a long time ago. Why, for the love of God, are you not clicking there? Okay, I'm turning you back to auto mode. If I could actually click auto. Like, why was that so difficult? I don't think that should have been. I still have my Window Chicken mug kicking around somewhere. I haven't used it in forever, though. I'm not entirely sure where it is. But I still have old Window Chicken kicking around. It was weird, because it was, there was, back when I was building that, I want to say we were still on like 1.16 for Minecraft. And I think when they upgraded to 1.17, when the server did the upgrade, Window Chicken disappeared and he wasn't there anymore. But he was there forever. I even name tagged him so that he wouldn't despawn. And that was all from my extremely crude room that I was sacrificing chickens. It was definitely vanilla Minecraft. I don't know if I actually did any series of modded Minecraft. If I did, there was maybe some like Sky Islands. There might have been a Sky Island series that I did. It was on one of the survival servers that I was playing on too. Now, are we like far enough away here that I can successfully build out on this and not clip through a bunch of stuff? I don't know how much space we're gonna need, so... We're gonna need a pretty good chunk. Like, it'll be close to the same size factory that we did way over on the other side, on the north end of the map there. I think this is a pretty good place to start. Let's run some foundations out this way. Quick, dirty little 10 or 11 wide platform we're building here. Okay, I gotta remember that that one pipe at the end is only a 300 cubic meter. You know what? I'm thinking I probably didn't need to go this far over. Let's have a look here. Right to there. So we'll build this one out. I think that's probably as good a place to start as any. Delete out these. They were just there as a counter. And I'm going to delete this out. Okay, so we got four full pipes. So that's 6, 12, 24 plus 4 is 30? Does that sound right? Or no, we do 8. 8 conveyors per full pipe. So we got 8 times 4 plus the half pipe is 4. 36. I think it is the same size as the one we were doing before. So I think I'm actually going to bring it out 3 just because we did run into some pipe issues. So let's go production, refinery. We're going to start it from this end. And what did I say we had to go? 36? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, right. And then I'm going to skip one because I got to deal with the plastic. Or the polymer resin. Skip one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna have to be. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're gonna go out wider yet. You're going to go that way. You're going to go that way. Doing one more full section here. Probably doesn't need to be a full, but definitely needs to be wider than we are right now. Got to remember these videos. Building in your... Building is in your blood. Which one are you looking at here? Which one is that? That's a regular stream. Sunday through Thursday, 9:4 to 5. Trying to think. Playing vanilla Minecraft. Trying to think what build that is. Oh, that was when I was first starting to build it. I think. Oh no, this is one of the, that was like one of the servers that I did. I think this is the one that had the really wicked nether hub that I built in it. I think. Man, I can't remember now. That looks like it's the art. Like I'm just kind of looking at one of the little build sections. I'm about, I don't know, 23 minutes into it. I think that's one of the iron farms. Oh no, this is a tower. Man, I just don't know. When was that uploaded? That was 6 years ago that was streamed. That was just when I was a young pup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we need 4 more. We're skipping one. 1, 2, not right there. 3 and 4. And then I think I could delete out this one row. Okay, so that is conveyor 1, conveyor 2, conveyor 3, conveyor 4, and the half, or not conveyor, pipe. 'Tis the pipe. Okay, so what's next then? I guess we get the logistics done for it. So we'll line it up here. Click over to, and then run it down to this one. And it's right in the center. Spin this around. Right there. Spin around again. And right in the middle. How we doing stream-wise? 0 drop frames. Excellent. Excellent, Smithers. What? Why would you not build? No, I don't want you to build there. You need to be over by 2. I must have triple clicked it and it got stuck on itself. Oh wow, everything's like completely out of whack on that. Let's try that line again, because I didn't stay on the lines. I don't add a color in the lines. No one ever taught me. Oh, I think it was on GitHub. Well, GitHub is a repository for Linux kernels. So I don't think it was on GitHub. Gibcraft was one of them. One of the servers that I played on. It was like a 18 plus server. World of Solitude. And then I think the Nether Hub I built on one of my own servers, like Terracecraft. I don't even think, I think the community for Gibcraft is still around. Ima is the one that actually like owned Gibcraft back in the day. And, but then he was like too busy and didn't want to maintain it anymore. He didn't even play Minecraft. He played a little bit with his kids, but yeah, like he kind of ran it. I mean, for years he ran it, and then it got parked. And then I switched to Beyond Bedrock, which was a Minecraft server. And then there was a couple of times I dabbled with my own Minecraft server as well. I paid for QPost when they were actually still around back in the day. And then eventually they shut down and I had to grab my... I don't even know if I got my save file off that before they shut down. I might still have the save file. I'm not sure. I'd have to go do some digging. Okay, logistics. We're going to put all of our junctions in here now. And then delete out the bits we don't want and fix them. That is not how that's fixed. That's still not how that's fixed. What am I doing? Riley, oh my god. There we go. And this one isn't right either. It's off center. Oh, for serious dog crap. What am I doing? Okay, those ones are all centered. All centered. I think I'll just lay all the junctions and then go back and fix the crooked ones. Okay. Now the ones of these that aren't centered, like this one, it's just a little bit off axis. We got to fix that. And then this is that junction that I don't want in there. So we may make that a solid chunk of pipe. Then this here is, this one here is the one that's off center. And then we delete out this one and fix it. Oh my God. Let's go this way. Maybe I won't screw it up if I build it that way. This is the one off center. And the junction. Actually, not the junction. The join, because the pipe run was too long. That one we already fixed. Okay. Cross pipes. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I never set these up with the recipe. They're just blank slates right now. Alternate heavy oil residue. Let's just throw this in here so I'm not carrying it around. Hopefully I have enough power shards. Might have to spawn in some more. We're doing some pasting here right now. Find out when we get to the end whether or not I had enough shards. And summer sloop for that matter. Because every one of these are getting 2 summer sloop. Oh, you know what? Such an idiot. It helps if I actually overclock it and throw the summer sloop in, then copy it and paste it to all of them. That would have been so much more useful. One, two, three, and then 2 summer sloop there. 200 heavy oil residue off of 75 crude. Copy that and then do some pasting. Pasty, pasty, paste, pastes. You know what? I don't think I've played Minecraft in a hot minute now. I don't even... What version of Minecraft are they on now? I thought I heard a rumor that Microsoft Mojang is in development now of Minecraft 2. I don't know if that's legit or what, but... Okay, we had enough power shards. We had enough summer sloop. We are good to go there. Let's finish getting all our pipes hooked up. I want to say it's like 1.24, I think, is the current version. No, it's got to be more than that. Because I think 1.17 is when I stopped playing. Okay, now we got to grab our stackable pipe pillar here. Goes on each end. And then in the center, 1, 2, 3, 4 is center. So you go right there. You go right there. And then we go at this end. This end, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each side of that one. For Java Edition, the major update was 1.21. Trials, Mojang moved to a new system. So update in 2026 are designated as 26.x with recent developments in 26.1. Series focusing on... So really it's 1.26.1 kind of then is what they're... But they're calling it the 26th update. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go right here. And then right here. That's going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all done. Now we're laying some more pipe. Going in between the two of these and then putting a junction right here. And then deleting out both of these. So that this can be a single run. And you're a single run. And you're a single run. Okay, that input logistics is done there. Nope. Grab our junction. One of these days I'll go back and play some Minecraft again. I just find this game so damn fun to play. I have never been as joyful to play a game, like even back in the day when World of Warcraft was first out. I mean, I was a Warcraft head. I mean, I played it for like freaking 20 years, right? Warcraft is 22 years old now. Well, it'll be 22. Why did I put that back? I just deleted that other. It's 22 years old, or will be this fall. It hasn't really been the same for like the last 10 years. Wow, no pun intended. It's hard to believe that game is that old. It came out in the fall of 2024. Or 2004. Fall of 2004. You connect it. You connect it. You connect it. And then run this all the way across. I didn't want to go all that far though. I like that to be in separate pieces because sometimes the pipes don't connect properly. And then junction. Okay, is that all the input logistics? I think it is. So you're going to go that way. You're going to go that way. Let's run these lines down here right now then, because you can go like basically right here. Is that literally? There we go. That was perfect. And these are now filling up. So the next line will bring up to this one. That's connected. You're going to come right up to, I think here. Back you up to, doop, doop. You're going to run on this line. Watching you on these builds is just so relaxing, and it is a fun way to end the day. I appreciate that. This game is very relaxing. And especially when you see a factory all come together and things run at like 100% efficiency. You've done all the math you can in your head. You've had all your spreadsheets, I's dotted and T's crossed. You laugh, but I have done actual spreadsheets of this game trying to plan what my build's going to be. like pages and pages and pages of notes and calculations and yields and efficiencies and power usage, and any game that makes you want to willingly build a spreadsheet has got something going for it. I think Anode, was it? I think it was the same way. Was another game that you could use like spreadsheets to calculate things on. Okay, that is all the input oil in now, I think. Time is at 10:30. Okay, good. We got still plenty of time to work here. So on the output side, oh, you know what? We got to color code all this now because that is all the crude oil. So we're going to grab our customizer and we're going to set this back to black for crude. Joink. Set color. We'll go back to all these nodes and start painting them up. Break out our trim clad. We will start on the resource well. Grinding this stuff all out. Oh no. Yeah, let's not get carried away and do the foundations because that's kind of ugly. Customizer. Okay, that is all that lines. We got to get into these little tight areas and get our check valves. I did not put a check valve on this one, so let's get that done. Customizer. Can't believe all the little bits I'm forgetting along the way here. I need to pay attention just a little bit more. I mean, I don't need to have that check valve there. I just, if for whatever reason I start dealing with any fluid slop, it's going to be at the fluid buffer. So if you put a check valve in, then the slop doesn't go beyond that. So I don't want to have issues at the extractor level. Okay, next is this one. Check valve is there, yes. Okay, now we're going to go back and do this one, and then I just screwed up and hit a foundation. No! See, I tried to go too fast, and now it's taking me longer than if I just took my time, colored everything as I needed to. Okay, that's that oil extractor. Fred says, hey Terrace, it's 12:30 here and I'm starting to wake myself up after the chin bounces off your chest and jars myself awake. So I'm assuming you're heading off to bed then, are you? Well, thank you for chilling and hanging out for as long as you did and making it as long as you did. And then I've just wrecked foundation again. That's amazing. Have yourself a good sleep. We will see you. I'm not sure what I'm streaming next. I know I'm getting together with friends this weekend. I just don't know if it's tomorrow night or Saturday night. I'll let the wife make the plans. If I'm on this weekend, I'm on there. More than likely, there'll be a stream Sunday night for sure. I'm like 90% sure Sunday's a go. I just don't know what about Friday or Saturday night. Those I can't answer that one. That one's kind of up in the air. Damn it! Stop! Do it! Do it! No problem, Terry. So you're leaving the stream open. Well, I appreciate the view hours. Well, I should look and see kind of where we're at studio-wise now. On my hours of stream time. Where are we at here? YouTube Studio. Monetization. Man, I'm at 1174. We've only got up like 50 hours this week. Get wrecked. Mind you, that only goes to... What date was that? That is accurate as of the 17th. Well, today's the 22nd, but I've only had a couple of streams in there because of the internet issues. So there's still a couple of days we have to add in here, so we're probably sitting around that 1,200 hour mark. I got 1,800 hours to go before they can turn it back on. It's actually so bad that like YouTube shut off my ad revenue because I hadn't uploaded any new content. So it wasn't that I wasn't serving content. People were still watching my old content, but it wasn't new content, so they shut off my monetization, even though they were still playing ads on my old content. And then because they shut off my YouTube or my ads, my revenue stream, it ended up parking my Google account or my AdSense account that everything gets paid to has been disabled now too because it hadn't seen any transaction on my AdSense account. Well, I don't use my AdSense for anything but YouTube revenue going into it. So yeah, it's basically once I get my monetization turned back on again, which will be whenever, I don't know. Then I got to go through the process of reactivating my AdSense account, relink it to the payment processor. Like, they totally effed me. I mean, it's my own fault. I took like a 6-month hiatus and didn't upload anything. Okay, fine. But it's not like my channel still wasn't serving views. So I was just looking at like Lords of Minecraft. One of their guys here, Bruce Willikers, they did a UR Realms live series back in the day where they did like tabletop RPG stuff. And he has all of those old streams on his channel still. And I mean, they're still cranking out like thousands of views a month. Are you telling me because he hasn't uploaded anything in 2 years on his channel and the thousands of hours a month that his channel is still generating in revenue, he's not getting paid for that? Or did Google shut him off too? So, I mean, basically, Google just doesn't have to pay me for them putting ads on my current videos. Me talking about this is probably going to piss them off too, but I don't care. You guys might as well know how they work, right? If you're ever thinking about wanting to be a content creator, and like, there's no way I could ever do this as a career. Like, my total lifespan monetization of everything that I've done on my channel might be combined a total of like $2,000 is what I've made on YouTube. That's for, man, you gotta go back to how many years it's been since my first upload. So I'm gonna say my channel might be 10 years old now. Man, if that's the case, it's sad that I'm only at 2,500 subscribers. Let me look at YouTube Studio here. Hold on a second. YouTube, your data studio is there. I'm going to go back to content because it was a video that I uploaded very, very first. And let's sort it by date. The very first video I did was like a welcome to GiveCraft. These might actually be, a lot of them are set to private now because they were really bad. Was May 25th, 2014 was the very first video that I uploaded. So this spring, this May will be the 10th anniversary of my channel. When did I actually like start consistently putting videos out on the channel? Let me go to, I started off as just a live streamer. Let's sort this by date. September of 2016. September 3rd, 2016. No, 2015. September 3rd, 2015 was my GiveCraft.com 18 plus public server. I think these are even still live back in the day. Live stream series. And that's when I started building like the Dwarven Underground City. And it had like the medieval full castled everything. Whoa, yeah, it's 11. Yeah, it's, oh, wow. It's 2026, not 2024. It's 12 years old, my channel. I'm an idiot. I totally lost math. I lost 2 years in my mind. The last 2 years just disappeared. I don't know if I want to go back to 2024. But yeah, so September of 2015 is basically when I started like streaming. And then I think monetization, I was able to, and I switched to doing World of Warcraft in April of that year. Oh, you know what? Then I stopped. I did it till October 2015. And then I did a test stream in April 2017. And then I started my World of Warcraft series. And that's when I went hard, which was the end of April in 2017. So 9 years of like hardcore, like live streaming just about every single day. And yeah, like I put out tons. Of course, back then, like all the thumbnails, nails were the exact same thing. I did like Pathfinders, quests with my tunes as I was leveling them for whatever version of Minecraft it was back then. And then I was mage leveling. The mage leveling series actually did really good. You know what? That opening stream, how many views did that one get? Analytics. Gets jacked now. Reach, audience, overview, lifetime. Since uploaded. 11,700 views of that first live stream of my mage leveling series that I did. That did all right. Man, there were some days when I first started doing the live streams, like there was something like Google was really pushing their live content a lot back then because they were really starting to, they wanted to compete against Twitch, right? There were times that I would get easily, I'd push a live stream and I'd get anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 views in a live stream. I'd have 20, 30 viewers watching. The magic days. Yeah, it really was the magic days back then. And the channel just kept growing and growing and growing. And then it was like one day YouTube did something and it switched. And if I got 100 views on a live stream, it was a good stream. And I was mind blowing at how fast and rapidly it just, like us flipping a switch. And then they didn't push the live content as much. And it's still that way to this day now. Live content doesn't get pushed near as much on YouTube as what it did. But I mean, I've always had YouTube as my home. I tried doing the Twitch thing, and I'm sorry, but the Twitch community was just, it was way more toxic than the YouTube community as far as streaming to. You had a lot more trolls that come strolling through your channel. And I didn't have the patience for it. You ignore them, but still it's there. It nags at you. And it seemed like there was more trolls than there were actual viewers. So I just decided pull the plug on Twitch. Because I dual streamed using Restream for, like, I want to say at least the first year. I was streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I just found that YouTube was the better path at that time. Is that still the case now? I don't know. I can't see myself going through the switch. I think Twitch might still have its toxicness to it. And it is so cutthroat that if you're not streaming every single day, they don't serve your channel anyway. You take like a week off or something to go on vacation, you'll lose 80% of your viewership and you won't get pushed back to the top of the list again until you've been doing it, like streaming again for every day for a month. I'm sorry, I have a life. I have family and friends and a job. This isn't a job for me. This is a hobby. One day I'd love it. I'd love it if I could actually make money at this, but it's a hobby. I enjoy playing this game and I want to show people playing, like, what it's like playing this game or other games. I'm a PC gamer. That's what I do. And so that's just my shtick. Okay, so now I got to deal with the residual polymer resin that's coming off of these. And what's going to be the easiest way is putting awesome sinks just out the back side of these. The first one's going to go right here. So we're going to throw up one of these. So I'm going to move products with this going this way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are priority mergers. Your primary line you always set as high priority, and then it pulls from the sidelines as it needs them, and it just keeps everything flowing smoothly out of your machines. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring that notification bell, and feel free to interact with the chatbot, because there are little things that you can do. There's a little message that pops up every once in a while that gives you a link to be able to get the redeemable codes. The longer you're in the stream and watching, you get awarded points, loyalty points. And you can spend those points on annoying me throughout the stream with various sound effects and animations and all that kind of fun jazz. I need to put this... You know what? I'm going to put it right here instead. I'm not going to put this out here. And we are going to grab our awesome sink. And that is dumping in right there. Okay, so that's the first residual plastic done. But then... You know what? I'm going to get all the residual plastic done first, and then I will deal with the heavy oil residue. There you go. That's one of them. Tall Terrace. The timing on that was, there you go. Like, And I didn't jump. I must be becoming accustomed to it. I didn't jump as much this time. It was loud though. But that is one of the noises you can do to totally screw with my life. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's grab some conveyor. These, I think, because I copied and pasted, yes, it's already still going in the right flow here. And by the way, Tall.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
However, you've probably been lurking here for a while, I'm thinking, as you're waiting for Frog to get home. Or if they are home, I wonder how the game was. I haven't heard the other one come in yet, so... I don't want that right there. We're going to throw some foundation down here, though. And we are going to tuck this in. Right there. Special awesome sink. You're going to go there. And there, that's running. No, Joy, just this, no, I just joined the stream as you were talking about the points. Well, that was absolute wicked timing then. Is your better half home yet, or are they still out and about? Okay, so that's dumping. That's dumping. They're still out? Man, it must have been a long game then. No, that's going the wrong direction. Let's spin that around. Just spin me right round. 1, 2, 3. That's off center. Gotta fix that. I mean, it is a Flames game. Yes, it's a Flames game, but it's not a Flames game. It's a Flames alumni game. So it's all the old Flamers that are playing. I'm not sure if Agilna is going to be on that or not. But like there's a bunch of alumni that are playing that aren't actively playing in the NHL now. Because I mean, I'm sorry, but the cast of Shorzy playing against actual, like, full-on live NHL players right now, pretty sure they would get their ass handed to them. I'm sure they can all play hockey, but I'm sure they're not, they'd be in the NHL, they wouldn't be actors if they were at that caliber of play. So they can play against a bunch of old-timer Flames. We're going to go right to here, and then we have to elevate this now. Oh, well, this is not convenient. Because I'm pretty sure my awesome sink, for that to line up, would have to be like that. So we're going to have to turn this and throw this awesome sink like this. Bring this stupid product across. Like so. Bring it back down. And then in. You can't discount the experience? No, definitely not. Like, it is going to be a decent experience to have them going to that. Tickets were pretty reasonable too. I don't know, has any, like, obviously Tall Terrace knows who Shorzy is. Afraid, do you know who Shorzy is? It's a I want to say it's a show on, well, it's on Crave for us, but I'm not, is it Hulu in the States? I know there's a lot of Americans that like it, so it probably started around 7-ish, and knowing how my sister drives, they're waiting it for clear out. The roads like are totally bare, because I went up and saw my mom tonight, and the road was just like totally dry. It wasn't much in the way of snow. And the snow was like just occasional crystals that were falling down. It wasn't anything heavy. Next, we're going to deal with this row. Kind of going a lot slower at this than I keep getting just distracted. Shiny things, get on different tangents, and not pay attention to what I'm building. You don't think you've heard of it? Okay, you gotta research. You gotta look up Shorzy. I actually haven't watched a lot of the show. I've watched some of it, but like just usually clips. We're going to build it to there, and then we're going to go 3 by 3. Awesome sink. This lines up right. Let's put it across first before we get too carried away. You go like that. You go like this. Is that too close? Can I connect that with this? I can. All right, next we are going this way. And we will put our awesome sink out this side. No, not like that. We will put it right here. Special awesome sink. I do continue playing my level 47 Necromancer or start a new tune on D2. Are you playing Diablo 2? There's some nostalgia. All right. Okay. So all the plastic is dealt with now. Now I need to make our heavy oil residue collection. It's the remastered version though. I do have the remastered. I had it installed. I thought maybe I don't now. I know that Ima gave me a link to it. Can't remember. I might not actually have it installed anymore. Oh my God. Microsoft, stop telling me to use OneDrive to move my crap all around. I don't want to relocate my documents and desktop and everything to my OneDrive folder, you criminals. Sorry, Microsoft tangent. They already pissed me off enough today. Microsoft had a huge outage today that caused like all kinds of grief, from emails not working, not being able to access the admin control center for my Microsoft 365 tenant for work. SharePoint and OneDrive was broken and inaccessible in some cases. You couldn't search for things in Teams. It was just crap. Like, if your entire business documents and everything lives in the Teams environment and the OneDrive and SharePoint environment, and then all of a sudden that just disappears. Oh, and then a lot of our other stuff for our financial software and our time management software all use the single sign-on services through Microsoft, and those were all broken because Microsoft is just, somebody did an update and it broke up node and it spiraled into redirecting traffic everywhere. And oh, it was just, I'm on a rant. Going to be calm. Trying to be calm. It's not working. Sometimes tech can just piss off a person. Well, and it doesn't help that everything now, like so many services end up pushing you to switch to a single sign-on account. So, oh, you use this one service and it signs you into everything. And then when that service breaks, you can't sign into anything. Isn't that just a wonderful process in life? I've always been against a single sign-on process. Oh yes, it's absolutely convenient to sign into your M365 account. And then that logs you into all your services and you can do all the stuff you want and you only have to sign in once and everything's all linked to blah, blah, blah. But if that goes down, you get nothing. Things that make me go, I just sometimes need to get out of tech. Oh, well, I guess it keeps me, keeps the bills paid, keeps the mortgage paid. I just don't like it when it's things that's outside my control to be able to fix. I get to just tell everybody, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. At least I get to blame somebody else instead of it being my fault that something's broken. I guess that's a bonus. You go all the way across there, you go there, you go there, and then junction. Hello. Oh, you're not linking because you're not actually connected to anything yet. Braid says there's quality control has gone downhill. They want to sell subscriptions rather than being a software company. Okay, don't get me wrong. The subscription thing, I understand the subscription thing. And hear me out, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. You develop a piece of software. Say every 2 years you release a new piece of software. The updated, here's your next version of your software. So here's my package. I'm going to sell you this package for $100. Okay? Everybody buys it. In the first 6 months, you got a huge ton of money right away, and then no cash flow after that. So how about instead of me selling it to you for $100, I sell it to you for $10 a month. So now I have consistent cash flow. Your total cost of ownership is spread out over a period of time. So it's not, as a business, it's not a capital expense. So you didn't have to spend a bunch of money all at once and then only write off portions of it each year. You get to write off your subscription, all like the whole amount, because it's a service, all at once, rather than it being a capital expense for purchasing the software. Now you're just basically renting a service or leasing a service. So it becomes a complete write-off. Yes, it's cost you $120 now for that 1 year. And of course, I only release new versions of it 2 years. So it actually cost you $240 in the long run buying it. But you were able to write that all off right away rather than over a 3-year period, of which you would still be writing off one version of that software when you had to buy the next one 2 years down the road. So it ends up being with You know, in the benefit of a software company for having consistent revenue flowing in all the time, versus, you know, a lump sum of money and then no revenue for a year and a half. I mean, let's be honest, you're not just going to throw it in the bank. You're going to do stuff with it if you get a bunch of money all at once, investing in other projects, where if you have consistent cash flow, everybody gets paid consistently. It's just easier to manage on the books, blah, blah, blah. And then as far as a customer is concerned, well, now they can write off everything all at once rather than having to spread it out over 3 years. And then you're stacking your write-offs because you're buying the next version 2 years into your 3-year write-off, and you're still writing off something that you're not using anymore. Like, it makes sense at a business standpoint as well too. Granted, you don't own anything anymore. That's kind of the way things are, is, you know, nowadays you don't own a thing. But that's why the model went the way it did. True, so why retire old op systems, self-subs with continued support? You got to retire them because of the lack of security capabilities and the lack of support for the hardware changes and new language and infrastructure changes. You can't expect Windows 7 to still be able to operate at the efficiency, because it was never designed for a 20-core operating system. So it has no way of knowing how to interact with that. And then there's so many different types of security responsibilities that come in with dealing with all that multi-core processing. So you can't keep limping the old stuff along. Technology does change, and you can't expect your old stuff to still do what the new stuff can. If that makes sense. Trying to think of a good analogy to use in that case. Trying to think what other devices in our life just, they don't work like after so long. It's just, it becomes too, well, I mean, let's look at vehicles. Yeah, classic cars, if they don't get used a lot, will maintain their value and will still work and still do great things for you. But if it's your everyday go to town, like go to work, travel in every day, you're putting 50,000 kilometers on your vehicle every day or every year, eventually things starts wearing out. Things start breaking, so you keep putting more parts in it, and the parts get harder to find because they're older, and then, like, eventually it ends up costing you too much money to try to maintain it, so it's time to retire that vehicle and go purchase yourself a newer one to lower your total cost of ownership. You can't expect to be putting 50,000 miles a year on the same vehicle every year for 10 years and not expect to have to put a whole pile of maintenance in it to keep it running at that capabilities. And then that cost of that maintenance ends up being way too expensive. Software is the same thing. Now, should Windows 10 be already retired, considering it was supposed to be the last operating system that you were ever going to need, and they were just going to perpetually update it like Mac did with theirs? But I mean, even Mac has discontinued older versions of their OS as well. And it's not like Windows 10 computers stopped working. They still function. They still are doing their thing. It's not like when the cutoff day came around, they turned them off and that was it. You could never turn them on. I mean, there's still Windows 7 computers in production today. There are still Windows XP and NT4 systems in some obscure locations, or Windows 98 that are still. I know of a scientific measuring tool that's still being used today. It's a soil sampling spectrometer that measures all of the different components in soil for your different nitrates and all that type of stuff, that is used by a university, that is still being used today, that is running off of Windows 95. But because of the type of technology and how expensive, like this thing was custom R&D built, it was like $1 million for this box. Well, it runs off the controller on it runs on Windows 95, and they have to keep trying to source old parts to keep it running, because they're not going to go out and blow another million. Because nowadays, back when they built that in the late 90s, it was $1.5 million or $2 million to build that thing. Well, today that's like a $15 million piece of equipment that they would have to go and redesign and rebuild and re-engineer and make for new software and blah, 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 when the other one is still doing what it needs to do. So then they end up spending what needs to be done. I had to do basically, this was a number of years ago, but I ended up having to, all the capacitors on the motherboard for it just totally got cooked. Like just the age and everything, they were all swollen and split. The system wouldn't post anymore. It wouldn't power on. It wouldn't do anything. So they brought it to me and they're like, we really don't want to spend, X millions of dollars to replace this piece of equipment because this controller computer's not working anymore. Is there anything you can do? And I went and I replaced every single capacitor on the motherboard for that thing, and it fired back up and started running again. And to this day, it's still operating for them. So that was a fun little project, and man, we got to bill for that. No one else would even touch it. They'd just sooner laugh at you. Oh, I'm not working on something that old. Go away. And I'm like, why not? That's true. I worked on ATM machines that are still running Windows 95. God, that scares the crap out of me because of the security issues. And those ATM machines are connected to the internet to be able to operate and process transactions. They should not. If anything should be upgraded, it's crap like that needs to be running off of a current secure operating system. There's another piece of equipment that I worked on too there was a forage company that I dealt with. They R&D designed and built a one-of-one microwave moisture analyzer that would measure the moisture content using microwave frequencies, using microwave particles, shooting through a hay bale. And whatever particles it absorbed, it would calculate and be able to come up with a moisture content for that. This was a one-of-one research and developed thing. The custom software was built by our electrical engineer that worked for our company. It's a one-of-one machine. There isn't another machine anywhere on the world of this thing. And it operates off of a Windows 98 second edition desktop for it to be able to run. And it will only ever run on that because the guy that did the software, I don't even think he's around to do that kind of work anymore. So it's a one-of-one and done and will never be changed again. So you got to do whatever you can to try to keep the old stuff up and running. You have mirrored copies of the hard drives over and over and over again. And of course, back in those days, like Windows 98, it might not even have been second edition. It may have been just regular Windows 98. You were limited in like hard drive capacities and hard drive sizes. So you had to do like partition down larger drives so that it could only see, I think 80 gig was the max that the operating system could detect. So you'd have to use like hard drive tools to, and then of course it's FAT operating system instead of NTFS. But you'd have to use the tools to bust it up into partitions so that it would detect a partition to be able to make it work. Might have even been FAT16. Mind you, FAT16 I think may have been capped at 4 gigs. Because Windows NT4 was, well, that was NTFS, like early NTFS file system, and it was capped at 4 gig maximum partition size that you could do. When I first got into IT, my first workstation was an NT4 workstation, and it was, oh yeah, file name issues. You couldn't exceed like 8 characters for file names. You couldn't have spaces in file names. That was fun times. You'd get a freaking what kind of hard drives back then was I able to get? I think they were like 10 gig hard drives. It's a 4 or 2, might have even been 2 gig partitions you had to do. Man, it's been a while since I've done an NT4 install. Like we're talking a hot minute. It might have even have been 2 gig maximum partitions back in the day for FAT16 or early NTFS. And so then you'd have to split the hard drive up into chunks and install. You would have your OS drive, you'd have your programs drive, and you'd have your data drive. And man, them were the days. And I remember, like, you know, early Windows or late Windows XP, early Windows 7, there was a local computer tech that was kind of stuck in the NT4 era of mindset, and he was doing like active installs of Windows 7 computers out there, and he would allocate an OS drive, a programs drive, and a data drive, and he'd partition the hard drive, the whole works, everything like that. But he always made the OS partition like, we'll say 10 gigs of a hard drive. Well, as Windows 7 aged, it did not take any time whatsoever before that was like totally janked full and Windows was broken. So we would constantly get these computers in our shop of these things that they had bought from them that were they were junk. Like you had to completely like back up everything on them, wipe them, turn them into one solid partition, redo everything. Like, it was such, and all because he just was stuck in a mindset that that's how it was. He didn't change with the times as the technology changed. It wasn't long before all of a sudden, like, we didn't see any of his workstations ever coming around anymore. So I don't know if he clued in and fixed his ways, or if he's just like, okay, that's it, I'm out. I don't want to do it anymore. Alrighty, that's the outputs there. So what do we get? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 conveyor or 12 pipes of 600 cubic meters. That's one thing about it. It always changes, and that's the name of the game. It is the name of the game now. Everything changes. There'll come a time in my IT life where I'm just like, my mind is Thank God for Google, because I can always go back and I can look things up, and it's like, you know what? I can't remember how to do that now, but I know there'll be a video somewhere, a YouTube video that will be like, yeah, you can do this, and you can go back and look it up. I've forgotten more about some tech stuff than most people even know, and I'll live with it. I can't keep it all in my head anymore. But then, of course, you watch the video and you're like, oh, right. And then you can kind of pick up where your brain left off back in the day. Okay, I got to put some fluid buffers in here now to make this work properly. So I'm going to put them all out first. Fluid buffer here, fluid buffer there, fluid buffer everywhere. Pretty much there's fluid buffers all over this damn map now. I had to relook up ScanDisk last fix MBR. Did you have a bad master boot record? They are home. Well, good for them. Hopefully they had a good time. I'm sure they did. Especially Frog. She would have, I mean, that's her thing is hockey, so. It's almost getting dark out here that I'm going to have to switch it back into fog mode so I can see what I'm doing. At least kind of out in this open here, it doesn't get like crazy dark like some of the areas in the map. She got her jersey signed by some of the cast. That's amazing. That's awesome. Good for her. Okay, that's kind of about as far as we're going to be able to go that way. And then we might have to... Maybe I don't have enough room for all this out here. Okay, we'll be building out that way for sure. Used to be good at tweaking the registry. See, I always told people don't touch the registry because there's absolutely no need to. All of the old like software, everybody used to say, oh, you got to defrag your registry, you got to fix your registry, blah blah blah. You got so many orphan files and everything in your registry. It was such a line, and it's because yeah, there is. No doubt. But in the grand scheme of things, if you think of your hard drive, your SSD, your spinning hard drive as the Sahara Desert, and you've got all that sand in the Sahara Desert out there, the size of the registry is a couple of grains of sand. You don't need to optimize a couple of grains of sand. There's no need. Now, if you're having issues uninstalling some software or installing a software update or installing, like say a new version, like you've uninstalled an old program and then you installed that newer version of the program and it still thinks there's an old version of it. Okay, fine. Yeah, you got to kind of go into the registry and see, hey, I need you to remove the old version of Adobe Reader or anything that references Adobe Reader because it won't update anymore because it thinks I still have the old one, yet I don't. Okay. there are some instances where that comes into play. But then you use like a tool like Revo Uninstaller or something like that, where you can tell it what program to look for and uninstall. It'll only find those items in the registry and be able to remove them for you. And of course, it lets you back up the registry before you go ahead and do that. But that's like worst case scenario things. That's not real life. Like, you don't have to do that all the time. And so people would buy these like automated tools to, they'd spend it on their Norton 365 full suite, and it would do a registry scan to clean up your orphan registry files, and they'd reboot their computer, and their computer would blue screen and crash, and then that would be the end of it. Because some automatic tool was deleting stuff out of your registry that never needed to be deleted out of your registry, and it got wrecked. Frog, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
So, yeah, like, there are edits. Like, I do edits in the registry all the time because there's some nifty little things that IT admins can do if they want to, I'll just leave it at that. That are handy tools for us to be able to do. And every workstation that I put out has had some minor registry tweak. That the only reason why it's a registry tweak now is because I removed the full feature of it out of the operating system from before, and used to be able to do it right out of the control panel. Well, now you can't do that anymore, so you had to do a registry tweak to be able to do that. It's blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, now you got to do you got to do registry tweaks to install a local copy of your user profile in Windows now. Like, you want to install Windows 11 and you want to have the latest build of Windows 11 is really forcing you to know you need to use a Microsoft account. You cannot install a local account on your computer system and use it just as an operating system on your computer. You got to use a Microsoft account. Well, there's a registry tweak you can do to get around that. It used to be you didn't need a registry tweak. It was just kill a service and then make sure you weren't connected to the internet, and then rerun the out-of-box experience, and it would realize, oh, you don't have an internet connection, and let you install a local account. Well, now you've got to do a registry tweak to get around that, so you can install it without, like, I don't know. It's Microsoft, piss off, let me install a local account on my computer, please. Thank you very much. If I want to have a local account, I'll have a local account. If I want to use a Microsoft account, guess what? If I was using a Microsoft account, I would have had issues logging into my computer and using my services today because Microsoft was down. Sorry. Doesn't take much to get me into a rant, does it? Especially when it deals to single sign-on automated security systems. Blah, 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 blah. If you tie everything together using one service, that service craps the bed, standing around twiddling your fingers for the rest of your life. How do I get into these IT tangents all the time? Why is my mouse... Oh, it's because my phone is sitting on top of my mouse cord, and it keeps pushing... let go of my mouse, and it would keep pushing it down, and so my mouse would go... Zoom. Zoom. So angrily passionate. Yeah, I guess. I just like things when they work, and when they do stupid things to prevent it from working, that it would work totally fine if they hadn't done that stupid thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, that's that one. We gotta do this like... What is... Wait, what? Am I doing this right? 12 times 6? 72? Is that what I had to do over on that far side? Was 72 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Ran out of room. I'm not going to have enough room for all that pipe. I can fit... How many pipes can I fit across here? We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, you couldn't do 8. Yeah, you could do... No, you couldn't do 8. Is that going to be enough? Am I going to have to push all these out one more? Because it's every group of 6. You know what? I'm going to delete these and I'm going to move them out one more. But either way, that's 50 that we did there. Oh, and you know what? I didn't set them to the right recipe anyway. I should delete them and replant them. I'm just going to put out 20 more foundations out here first. And then I'm going to replant those because they are not right. We're old school frog. Remember working in a field that used to care about the user's experience. Now it's just a corporate job where people are numbers and caring about what. Yeah, it. You called it there. User experience, that's not a thing anymore. Just look at any Adobe product. It's like the worst product in the world, but there's so many things that you just kind of have to use it for. If you're like in a marketing field or graphic design or anything like ugh. The worst optimized software on the planet is what Adobe is. Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, Illustrator, Dreamweaver. I don't even know if they call it Dreamweaver anymore. I think it's something else. Absolutely garbage programmed software. Even Adobe Acrobat is junk. Okay, so we're going to delete all those. And then... Is that enough room? Because how many foundations does that give me before those buffers? We got 1, 2, 3 and a half. So we're basically using half for input. Your output basically starts here, so that gives you 8, 9, 10. You know what? We're going to go one more. What's a little extra room? It's not like I don't have the real estate out here to do it. Right? We could just keep building out that way. I got lots of room that way to build. Okay, do it again. We need 72. 2, 3. No. 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 Let's set this to petroleum coke. Let's overclock the crap out of it. And then let's throw in... I think I'm going to grab a few more stacks of those because we're kind of getting low, and I think it pulls from my inventory for those items. Mind you, it should be 0 cost. Hold on, let me do a check. Resume game. What did we have? We had tab. Sort by name. We had 363 power shards and 195 summer sloop. Yeah, it does pull from our inventory. So we're just going to add some. We'll add like 10 more stacks of each. Wait until AI replaces real coders. If you think software had no soul, now just wait. It's already happening. It's not wait, it's happening. It's brutal. Power shards. I want 10 stacks of those. Gimme. And summer sloop. I want 10 stacks of those. Hello. Select the item. Give. Confirm. Resume. Check my inventory. Hey, look, I've got lots more stuff now. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. Ah. $67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. That's a lot of refineries. Okay, I can delete these little test ones out. We got lots of room here now. I'm not worried about where pipes are going, how much room we're going to have. As long as I'm not like stupid and like spread about too much, we should be plenty good. So every 6 refineries is one of these feeder lines. Same as what we did the other day. What time is it? 11:30. Time flies when you're not getting shite done. Okay, and we're building on this center line, so we back up 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Back up to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ah, the doors. It goes on forever. Actually, the train whistle's really long, too. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It seemed like I went by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 2, 3, 4, 5. I did go 1 too short on that. That would have screwed up all the rest of them going that way. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I wonder if I should have put a little break in between each one, but I think this all balanced out totally well. So then every 2 of these is one full conveyor. Oh, the knock. This one is amazing for headphones. $72 divided by 2 is 36 conveyors. What did we have? We had 132 plus 36 is 168 total conveyors times 1,200. We're going to be at 201,600 on the petroleum coke. So we did break 200,000 petroleum coke. We will anyway. By the time these 72 go online, that is insane. Absolutely insane. All right, now I got to line all this up. That's a lot of petroleum coke. I just hope that that's enough to be able to use for all of our alumina solution that we're going to be building next. Precious. I did not build that one right. We're going to redo this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I stopped like right center on the pipe, and I need to go too past or else I can't fit the junction in here. Why do I feel like some of those like didn't work? They just felt like they were moving on me. Maybe it's just the graphics because I'm placing them quicker than the pipes refreshing. I guess we'll find out if they don't connect and no fluid flows through them. 1, 2, 3. This is our last final check to make sure everything mathematically works out. And I'm hoping these are connecting properly. It's building, so... And I'm hearing the little chirp that it's connecting to the pipe and connecting to the piece of equipment. I know I'm kind of flying through it pretty quick here. But as long as I'm hearing that chirp, I'm pretty confident it's a good connection. And we won't have a bunch of broken pipe inputs. I mean, it won't be the first time. It certainly ain't going to be the last time that I have a piece of equipment that just will not feed from the fluid line. You have to break the pipe and rerun it again because it just doesn't recognize that the pipe's connected. Stackable pipe now. Put this in at either ends. It's probably not ideal for me to be wasting the much water area as I have right now, considering how much, like I'm hoping by the love of all things holy that I have enough free space in the water over there to be able to fit all of the alumina solution manufacturing in. I'm hoping that real estate is not going to become like so precious that we're going to have issues getting water extractors put down. Okay, that's all the stackable pipe. Now we just have to basically put the top end of our fluid buffer in. Or fluid manifold. This is basically a fluid manifold is what this is. And you always put your inlet line on the top because then you're gravity feeding into your machines and you end up with way less slosh to have to deal with. Because fluid slosh can be a problem, especially if you're moving pipe consistently on the same plane over a very long distance. The slosh can actually happen through the entire pipe network then. And you can have machines turning on and off and on and off and on and off because of that slosh. And that usually only happens when you're dealing with like partial pipe segments. Like if you don't have enough fluid to completely fill the line, that's when you run into those issues. Ooh, what's top hours? Why do I not remember that command? Top hours, Lockdot at 159.8, Ren 102.5, Sweeney Dunstan 52.4, Steven, that's Ima 50, I'm at 41, Sam 39.7, Afraid 39.8. I guess that's hours of watched of my stream. Bree, man, I haven't talked to Bree in forever. Tall Terrace, you're in there at number 9. Pac-Man J, that's a name I haven't heard in forever, too. Okay, now I've got to put in our feed line. So we click that and bring it down. Feed line for this set. Bring it down. Another feed line here. Another one here. Yeah, the boomer command, that was because Sam used to always call me. Sam used to always call me a boomer. That's where that command came from. FN, I am him. Is Satisfactory worth it? I've placed industry on my phone before. Satisfactory, I've put 2,700 hours into this game. I think it's worth every damn penny of it. It's so much fun. I'm currently working on, my project that I'm working on right now is building a world record of all the screw, like building as many screws as I possibly can. This factory that it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm pulling raw materials. I'm basically, the object of the game is to absolutely completely reap this planet of all of its resources, exploit it for everything that you can, in the idea of progressing yourself through the game and making more and more complex items. So you start off by basically, you land on this planet and you're like hand gathering your materials to eventually getting those materials into, be able to refine them into better quality materials. And then you start assembling those materials into better machinery. And then you automate that whole process. And then it steps you into the next phase where you can increase the speed of your automation. And there's power generation. It's one of those games that once you kind of get sucked into it, you'll never want to leave. And I've been playing this now. This is my 3rd year of playing this game. And I started in update, I'm going to say update 5, but it was like 3 days worth of update 4 in early access. And my Steam played for the last 2 years has been one game. That's how much I've been playing. And I play 2 to 3 hours a night, just about every night. So I like building factories, logistical nightmares. Then this is like right up your alley. See me, I like uniformity. I like symmetry. I like things to be lined up. I don't like conveyors clipping each other. I like it when materials are flowing properly. And then there's other people that just build the biggest, nastiest piles of spaghetti out there. It's absolutely mind-bending what some people do. And then there's like the artistic end of things. I don't know if you've ever watched videos from Kibitz or Bits or who's the other one that I watch on a regular basis? Why do I never remember his channel's name? Hold on. It's right there. Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse. That's the one. I didn't even actually have to look it up. It just popped into my head. The structures and stuff that they've been able to build in the game would just mind blow you, as that, like, it's just architecturally they look like amazing structures that they've been able to take this game and put some of that stuff together. So let's game it out. His videos are, he's the opposite. He's like, let's make the most random chaos and try to do everything you can to break the game. Like, I love his videos too. It just takes it to the complete other extreme. I'm trying to do a similar thing on here by building the ultimate screw factory, which is actually the screw. A screw potentially is the most useless item that you can build in this game, because there are alternate recipes that you can get in this game that you would never have to make a screw your entire life. And I'm building the ultimate factory to make as many screws as I possibly can. Like, north of 10 million screws per minute is what I'm going for, which is kind of insane. So that's you know, my attempt at doing something absolutely crazy. I don't like where that placed. Oh, it's because it's not even in the right spot. That would be why I didn't like where that placed. It needs to be right in dead center here. And then this locks down properly. Let me just double check now, make sure that I've got these centered for their line inputs. So for instance, the item that I'm building right now is called Petroleum Coke, where you can turn basically petroleum products. We're taking crude oil, I'm refining it into heavy oil residue, which then produces a byproduct that's polymer resin. That polymer resin could be used later on to make plastic if I needed it, but I don't need it. I'm going after the heavy oil residue, and then we're going to be converting that heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. The petroleum coke will then be a substitute for using coal for making steel in this game, specifically steel beams. And there's an alternate recipe where I can actually use aluminum and petroleum coke to combine to make, well, the petroleum coke makes the aluminum, and then there's a separate recipe that I can use aluminum to make the steel beams. Doesn't necessarily scientifically make sense, but it's great for being able to use an alternate recipe to make more screws. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Do you make guides? I do lots of like playthroughs. Like I've got lots of, as various updates came out, starting with like update 5, 6 through 8, and then with 1.0, where I did like live playthroughs of starting from when you first land on the planet, and you go through, basically you get when you land on the planet, it'll give you like a tutorial to start working through, and you get what's called a hub, which is kind of like your base of operations. And that hub guides you through various stages of your game to be able to continue on building to the next phase. And then you're feeding this thing called a space elevator, which is launching all of the products and stuff that you're making to Fix-It Corp, which is the corporation that stuck you on this planet to do all the work, so that they can reap this planet for all of its profits and benefits. You got yourself a sub. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. And by the way, I don't think I gave you a welcome to my stream, so...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
There's your little stream welcome. And I'm sure you know what that's from. Just about everybody knows what that little voice snippet is from. I do have I'm not going to say I don't have any guides. I do have a couple of guides on my channel for like optimizing using pipes and comparing load balancers versus manifolds, and then comparing standard manifolds versus smart manifolds. Lots of different things there that you can learn. But a lot of those tutorials were kind of done back in like update 8, but a lot of those same things still apply to what the game is today at 1.1. I can't believe the full version of the game now has been out for over a year. We're already well past our 1-year anniversary for 1.0 release. Gotta line this up now. That's gonna go straight into that production line. So this is starting to, these ones are starting to fill up now and make our petroleum coke. Of course, they will all back up and this line will shut down until I end up building an export for these products and get them sent off to where they're going to go eventually. Which for now is going to get dumped into what's called an awesome sink, so that it'll just consume the products until I need them for later on in my manufacturing. Okay, so this line's got to go... I think we're going to go like right up with this one. You line up here. We're going to go back to, turn it this way, back to, nope, that's too far. Too far. Okay, that's that one. I think I can continue that same pattern on this. To go to the next fill ports. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Now, watching, if you're still here, watching the version, the way I'm playing the game right now, because I'm working on actually what I'm going to call as like a challenge mode. I have the game settings set where I'm not requiring power to be able to run my machines. My machines just run without having electricity. I'm also got like 0 build cost associated to it as well. So I could just build all the machines and all the pipes and all the concrete and everything without having to constantly go back and get inventory to build all that stuff. When you're playing this game vanilla wise, you need to have your machines producing the stuff so that you can build all your later on machines. All of these cost materials to be able to build them. So you constantly need to have the equipment running to be able to continue getting those materials. But because I'm doing a challenge here, just as one less step to have to deal with while I'm dealing with the challenges, I don't want to waste materials on having to go out and gather up all that extra stuff and waste extra time, because this is already, on this particular build of the game, what am I at right now? If I click save game, I am in 88 hours, almost 89 hours in this playthrough where I'm doing my screw challenge, building all the screws in the game. So I'm just about 90 hours just in this one challenge. As far as replayability, I don't think I've ever played a game that's had as much replayability, except for maybe Minecraft. Like, it's on the same level of Minecraft where you're basically endless to what you can do. It's a sandbox game. You can do what you want in this game. There are infinite resources, so there's no reason why you can't just keep going and building more and doing more. And now I do everything by conveyors and pipes. There are other means to be able to move your materials around on the map, either using truck systems or trains. I tend to find that trucks and trains and even drones, there's drones too that you can use for transporting materials across the map. It's more of a challenge to get consistent item counts per minute if your goal is to do factory optimization. Some people don't really care about optimization. They just want the products to be made, and it'll be made when the products are available. Then, dealing with trucks and trains is easier to get. The map's big. Like, you've got quite a huge map that you can pull resources from. We're on this tiny little island section over here. There's all this, it's big. Like, it's a big playing area. So getting materials back and forth across the map can be challenging. I've got a big highway running through the middle of this map. You can see it off into the distance here. Let me get up in the air and you get a little bit better view. That is just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of conveyors. Running materials clear across the map. And by stacks and stacks and stacks of conveyors, I mean it's stacks and stacks and stacks of conveyors moving materials. I'm dealing with, what did I say we're at? 168 conveyors worth of just petroleum coke alone, moving products across the map. Now that can be done with trains, it can be done with trucks, it can be done with drones. I probably wouldn't move that many products with drones, or your sky would be littered with so many drones. I'm not entirely sure what that would be. You know what? That might be a challenge I do in the future, is building factories and only using drones to be able to move products around. I think that might be hilarious. And just see how long it would take before I completely tanked the game or tanked my computer dealing with that much crap moving around the screen. I think it would be, that might be on my next to do for a challenge. Other people love the train aspect of it because it can be very intricate dealing with the trains, train signals, avoiding collisions, keeping schedules, and working out the math to be able to move the products around with the train consistently. Man, I should work for Coffee Stain, hyping up their game. But you know what? That's the best way to promote a game is to play it and enjoy it. And really, the cost is, as far as like games nowadays, it's a pretty cost-effective game, especially even if you can get a half of the hours out of it that I put in it, or even a third of the hours that I've put into this game, it's paid for itself. Now, of course, when I bought this, I bought it in early access, and I think it was like $30 US back then when I got it. I know it's more now, but I mean, the game was, I played it for like 2 years before early access, or before it became retail. So, you know, I helped them. The way I look at it is it was my contribution to help them develop the game and build the game, make it what it is today. But with that said, when I started in update 4, they went to update 8 before they moved to full retail. The polish they had in this game and how well it was playable back in those earlier updates was insane. $52 Canadian at the moment. So yeah, you're like $40 US. That's pretty reasonable. Especially for a game nowadays. And I mean, this is PC and console. You can get it on console if you want. I prefer, I mean, I'm a PC guy. I'm playing this on a PC. Like, the last time I spent any real time playing a console was the original Xbox. And that was because of Halo. Oh man, that was so much fun to play back in the day. Tull said you bought the game in July 31st of 2020. I think you even bought it before me, didn't you? I think you had it quite a while. Like, I think you started like when early access like first launched with this. All right, this is our last fluid line that we have to run here now. All the way down to that set of conveyors, refineries. Shortly after, yeah. So yeah, you were well before me then. I started playing it because I was watching a bunch of folks on like IMA's Discord that were playing it, and I'm like, I think I could enjoy this game. And lo and behold, I never put it down again since. Wait. Did I? Ah, frick monster. Who can see what I screwed up? Son of a... Anybody notice it? Can anybody see it? It's getting closer. It's getting closer. Yeah. The very second line in the whole damn system. I forgot to I didn't hook it up properly. So I have to redo all those. God damn it! All right, well, let me redo this now again and do it properly. Oh, man. It's going to throw them all off. I'm a complete scrub. It couldn't have been like one of the later ones. It had to be the very last one. Zoink. Oh, and it breaks just about everything too. Like, oh man. So now I gotta bring this all the way up to here. And I gotta delete this out because it's in the way. This has gotta go. And here I was all excited. I'm like, hey, they're all hooked up and ready to go. We can deal with the output side and put it all into awesome sinks. Nope. Nope. Not me. Because I'm an idiot. I was trying to think if there's some kind of way that I could like, okay, some of this pipe, can I reuse it? Can I get away with reusing it? And there really isn't. Everything's just like completely out of whack. You just gotta start over. Start over, run it all, get it where it's supposed to be. Make sure crap lines up properly. And how quickly it spiraled here too. Of all of the pipes that are going to be in the way and have to be deleted to make it work. I should be using straight conveyors for this, but I don't know, or not conveyors, pipes. But I like the default pipe build mode. I mean, they didn't introduce the straight pipe until 1.0 came out. And so it's tough to get my head around, you know, using it all the time. But yeah, if I switch this to straight mode, then I can just run these conveyors along a lot faster. Oh, except for that ends up being too long of a build. Really? Come on now. It's not that long. Okay, I'll build you to there. Nope, we got more stuff to delete. In the way. Make sure I'm actually connecting to all of the sections that need it. What'll happen now is I'll get to the end and then realize I like skipped a whole section of 6 and didn't connect to it. This is an optical illusion. It looks like the pipes are crooked, but they're actually like not. Like they're all coming in on their right proper angles to be built. Okay, we're gonna go to this one. Keeping it straight, and then in. More deletey deletes. Seriously, that's too long again? Why? Why do you let me click then? It shouldn't let me click it. It should just automatically error and say, nope, that's too far. You can't do that. Go away. Get a life. Do it properly. Okay, this is starting to look a little more like I was wondering why I was not getting as close to the fluid buffers as what I thought I should have been. We still need to do our playthrough. We were going to do when 1.0 dropped. Definitely do. I do want to try. I've never actually tried the multiplayer version of this. I think like once I get this screw project done, that might be like a good one to jump into. Is I started working on the calculations on what it would be to build like the ultimate nuclear power facility that is 100% completely recyclable with the fixonium. So it would go all the way through your uranium refinery, all the way through your plutonium refinery, and then all the way through the fixonium refineries. And I'd be curious to see how much power we could generate out of that. I think that would be a cool build. And then go through and actually like find the materials. There is a material that you can use in the converter to make more uranium that you can actually get on the map. And then we can use summer sloop to even get even more uranium out of that, because you can summer sloop the converters to get twice the output on it. Because uranium obviously is going to be our base for our power usage. And it would be a ridiculous amount of uranium, I think, that we could end up getting. And I think we could probably get, like, man, we could probably make the whole server glow with nuclear power. The guys and I did a multiplayer playthrough back in 2020 when multiplayer first came out. And, oh, man, it was rough. Yeah, there was, even when I was playing in update 4.5, it was a challenge to multiplayer. But I think they've got the kinks well worked out now for it, so. All right, next line, going back to here, because it'll be like, oh, that's too far. You can't run the conveyor that far, even though it's out by like a fraction of an inch. Okay, this goes to here. Yes. That goes to there, and then one more pipe to run. And then I gotta customize it. I don't have it all color-coded. See, there, that's a too far run. Keep pulling. Oh, that's too far. Connect right there. Perfect. Perfect. These machines can come alive. Alive. I think logistically that looks pretty darn snazzy. It's very symmetrical looking. I'm pleased with our outcome. But it is like well after midnight. I gotta give my dog his meds for the night. I gotta go to bed because I gotta work tomorrow. I think we'll call it here. I'll get this color coded tomorrow at some point. And then get the outputs done on these and dumped into Awesome Sinks. And then build a conveyor system probably out this way that'll shoot all the way back over that way to combine it with the rest of our. I've got the conveyors kind of run up to this point now with well, it's pretty close to this point. I think they're right about here. There's 132 of the conveyors are up to about this point. Actually, you can see the cluster right there off into the distance. That's going to be, they're empty conveyors right now, but they will be, once I get all the awesome things set up at this end, I'll be able to go around to all of the oil refinery spots throughout the map, get all of the petroleum coke heading to this corner of the map so that we can work with it when we're converting the alumina solution into alkylate aluminum. But that's still like a project and a half away, because we got to make the alumina solution, and that's going to be the next big project, is taking all of the bauxite that we're making right now and converting that into alumina solution. And yeah, I think I might focus on one conveyor worth of bauxite at a time. I'll get my 1,200 items of bauxite, get the process from beginning to end until we get to aluminum scrap, and get the wastewater dealt with, so I see what one single manufacturing line is going to look like. So that's going to consume one line of bauxite, go through the process of converting it to a alumina solution. That's actually a really good quest complete thing, is actually ideal for that, because this is almost one more quest we've completed. Like if I look at our to-do list, where is my to-do list? That's this one here. The project to-do list: bauxite nodes gathered, SAM nodes gathered, reanimated SAM is crafted from the SAM ore, Petroleum nodes, that's all gathered, Petroleum converted into bauxite, that's all done. Copper nodes gathered, that's done. Copper converted into bauxite, that's done. Oil nodes refined into heavy oil residue, absolutely everything in one of those is done. Craft petroleum coke, these two I kind of swapped because the petroleum coke is going to be needed right after the alumina solution, and I wanted the petroleum coke here to do that. So we went from heavy oil residue crafted to the petroleum coke crafted. That's now done. So the next section is alumina solution. And then we're going to be making scrap aluminum, which is where the petroleum coke comes into play. And then we have to deal with that scrap, the wastewater that comes out of that production line. We're going to do that with making wet sandstone. We're going to be doing that with making pure quartz crystals. And we may end up using our polymer resin and make plastic out of that. We got to find ways to be able to use up water, and we may end up gathering up all of the sulfur in game to get more limestone to be able to use it for more wet concrete. We're going to have a lot of wastewater that we have to deal with. If any of that wastewater backs up, it screws the whole project. So it's very important that we deal with that, but we don't want to rely on that wastewater as a manufacturing component, because again, if something backs up and causes it to break, it starves out another line, and then everything craters from that point. So there's lots of things that we have to come into play and think about there. After we're done dealing with the wastewater, we craft aluminum ingots. That's a really easy thing to do. And then we craft the steel beams from the aluminum ingots, and then we craft the steel screws. That takes care of the aluminum portion of our screw manufacturing, which is going to produce a lot of screws. Don't get me wrong, that's going to be huge. But then there's the iron portion. We haven't even touched iron yet. All the iron nodes are still out there, raw, aren't being mined. So we got all that iron that we can gather up, make that into pure iron ingots, craft it into, then we gather up all the coal in game. We craft that into steel ingots. We make more steel beams. We make more steel screws. And then whatever's left over out of the iron that we've crafted, we will probably make, I think I might just go straight into cast screws at that point, rather than the end there of making iron rods and then craft screws from the rods. But I think we'll go to the cast screws, where you take ingots and convert them straight to screws. But yeah, we're getting there. I'd say we're halfway through the aluminum manufacturing at this point now. Now we're actually going to be building aluminum. So Watari, welcome to the stream. Hi, bro. I finished the game, but I didn't need petroleum coke at all. The whole reason I'm using the petroleum coke, though, is for this challenge. I'm going out to make the absolute most amount of screws that you can possibly make in game. That's why I'm using it. And there is an alternate recipe where you can turn alumina solution combined with petroleum coke to make scrap aluminum. And that's what I'm going after with everything that we've gathered here so far. And we're getting there. And all in all, like now that oil plant down there is finished, we got that done. It works out to 201,000. What was that number? 201,600 petroleum coke is what we're making in game actively right now. All of it being dumped into awesome sinks except for this one little oil pocket out here. Just because I haven't got the output side of that done yet, because we kind of reached the end of the stream for today. But we're going to be using I don't know if we're using all that petroleum coke yet. I haven't done the math on it to see how much aluminum solution we're going to get out of the 85,000 bauxite that we're making right now. By converting all of the deuterium and all of the copper into bauxite using the converters, plus all of the bauxite nodes and all of the summer slooping that we were able to do to be able to do that, we have a lot of bauxite to play with. Like way more than the actual natural bauxite that's available in game. This is our conversion towers. That's our copper conversion. This is copper conversion. And this is deuterium conversion. And then this is our SAM to reanimated SAM manufacturing lines over here. And some of the conveyors. We still have, what? 1,200, 1,500, and... I gotta go all the way up to the top of reanimated SAM that we can still use for converting the sulfur into sandstone for us to deal with that wastewater. I want to say this is another 300 up here. 550-ish. So that's what, 2,000. We're just over 2,000 reanimated SAM per minute left over of the 5,100 that we're making. So that's a lot of stuff. How is your energy looking? In this particular challenge that I'm doing right now, I have the game set to 0 power and 0 build mode because we're strictly doing this as a challenge. We're going for the screw manufacturing, so I didn't want to have to be dealing with power manufacturing and dealing with making sure I had all the concrete and all the blah, blah, blah. This is strictly a challenge. A challenge game mode is what I'm doing to build the most screws in game. So I've eliminated those out of the equation. Power and raw materials to build with. Except for the raw materials we physically have to use to make the screws in game. And all said and done, by the time I'm done this project, we will have consumed every single node on this game except for uranium. That's the only thing we will have been left raw on the map untouched. Out of all of these nodes that are out there right now. And as you can see, like all the bauxite I've already done, all the deuterium is all done, all the SAM is done, all the copper's done, all the crude is now done. I understand was about to say that so the oil would disable the power through fuel generators. Yeah, except for I'm converting all of the oil into heavy oil residue and then turning all of the heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. So yeah, it's not being used for power at all. I'm using it in the most inefficient way. And the funny thing about this is screws are the absolute most useless item in the game. You can play this game without ever having to use a single screw, depending on the alternate recipes that you're running with. Which I think what makes this challenge even more amazing is the fact that we're going to make the absolute most possible screws that you can in game just cuz. And then After it's all said and done, I'm going to do up a nice video on it, have a summary video of the entire project. And if I click my little save game on this right now, we are at save, yes, 89 hours and 27 minutes and 59 seconds into this playthrough to get to this phase that we're at right now. So the next thing I'm starting to build is going to be the alumina solution. And we're going to be using all of this water out here to turn all of this is going to become a aluminum solution. So yeah, we got lots to do yet. We got a long ways to go. With that all said, make sure you guys hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring the notification bell so you can see when I've gone live again and see when the next video gets posted. If you haven't yet, check out the last couple of videos I did where I turned all of the coal in-game into coal power, and then I turned all of the iron ingots in-game, or all of the iron nodes into pure iron ingots in-game. Well, I've stepped it up to the next level, because the whole reason why I started this challenge is someone in my iron /iron ingot video had said, hey, have you tried going after the record? There's a guy that did a video where he made like 4.2 or 4.3 million screws per minute. And I just basically replied to that comment, said, challenge accepted. And that's when I started doing the math and working on the calculation and coming up with this plan of dealing with the aluminum using summer sloop. I've released the cap on summer sloop. We're using as much summer sloop as we can spawn in game. We're gonna destroy the record for screw manufacturing. But with that said, there are patterns that I've decided that I'm not going to go that would yield slightly more amount of screws, but the amount of work for the amount of screws that you would gain from it would be astronomical. I will leave that to the next person that wants to beat my record. I'm going to leave that so that there's room there for someone else to come along and meet that challenge. And they can do that. That's up to them. With that all said, guys, if you get a chance, check out my Amazon affiliate link. I've got my PC build list is in there, so you can have a look at my components of my computer system with some slight changes. My 4070 Ti Super is not available anymore. You can't buy it anymore. So I've substituted it with a 5070 regular, just a RTX 5070. And then I have 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30 in my system. But that was back when it was like $200 to buy it. Well, it's now $1,600 to buy that RAM. So I dropped that down to a 32 gig kit instead of the ridiculous price of a 64 gig kit nowadays. Thank you, AI slop, for doing that. There's also other lists in there, some networking equipment that you can check out, some book series that I'm listening to right now. I'm an avid Audible guy. I've been listening to a few different authors on there. I put in like over 500 hours of listening a year on Audible because I listen to books driving to and from work. So you can check out my playlist there of some books that I've put in the list. And then everyday items and stuff. So yeah, Amazon affiliate link. It's in the description of the video. It's in my about page on my YouTube. With that all said, you guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.